Hey, Apophis here. I'm going to basically be creating a 0 to PvP ready guide. This is the first video. It will cover basically most of the build. So we're starting as a knight because we need 3 intelligence to talk to Straid to get the Agape Ring. The Agape Ring makes it so you don't gain souls. So this is important because we don't want to gain souls because that will increase our soul memory bracket. So the point of this build was to stay as low as possible while having a plus 10 weapon. So usually I start these runs by taking that mace and doing Heide's tower, but we're trying something different this time. I'm just going to go straight for the fire longsword. And as you can see, we're trying not to engage too many enemies if we could help it. But yeah, so far, the run's going pretty smoothly. And so it's okay if we gain a few souls here and there because we're going to need about 948 for our first level. And why do we need that level? Because the longsword needs 9 dexterity, and we don't have 9 dexterity. Made a mistake there, went into the wrong hole, but that's okay. Opened the door just in time. We grabbed the longsword, and I was expecting to die here, but somehow we made it out. So that was pretty hype. So all of this was live streamed yesterday, but unfortunately I was having a major audio input issue. Well, I could kind of attribute that to my own deafness. Basically, my ears are covered. I'm going to try and talk louder to compensate for the fact that I can't hear myself. So a lot of the times when I'm recording myself, like producing music or these sort of videos, I don't have any headphones. I'm using the studio monitors or nothing at all. Basically, my ears aren't covered, and then I could keep a constant tone of voice and a normal volume. When my ears are covered, that's when we're going to get a serious issue. So now we're over to Heide's tower. I think I should have used the spiked mace here. I don't think that this weapon was actually doing more damage, but we opt not to raise any of the platforms. Because at this point I was already losing some time, so I figured, you know what, let's just go ahead and do the boss. To go through, I have an extremely crappy shield, but it doesn't matter. If you keep sidestepping him to the right, you could pretty much do the whole fight like this. Nice and easy. So there we go. Going up the stairs. And basically we're going to go ahead and spend these souls before something stupid happens. If I was truly trying to stay in the lowest possible bracket, we'd be leaving about, let's just say like 12 or 15,000 souls for just the weapon alone, but I'm okay staying below 50k. So I go ahead and round that out, because why not? So we're going to go back in, we're actually going to kill Licia. Because Licia will tax us 2,000 souls to get through to huntsman's copse, which we don't want. We don't want to waste any souls doing that. And since I'm not using any magic on this build, and the only thing worth buying from her is Great Heal Excerpt, and maybe Homeward, you know, I'm not losing too much here. Yeah, I'm not really sure why I tried to stagger lock her, but didn't matter. We just wind up pushing her off the edge here anyway. So you can just warp back in and collect the Rotunda key, but you don't need to see that part. So we go through towards, not Lost Bastille, but the No Man's Wharf. But on the way, we're going to pick up an Estus shard, or actually no, this is Sublime Bone Dust. Excuse me. So you go ahead, get the bone dust. Then, you know, we're just going to fast forward through a lot of doing No Man's Wharf. Because my first attempt, I actually wound up getting McGangbang right at the end. I went into a wrong doorway. And I wasn't trying to fight anything, but at this point I decided, screw it. We're going to go and fight some mobs. Not everything, but some of it. Take out that ninja. Got the shadow boots. Personally, I was hoping for the top. That's okay. Inside the chest is a fragrant branch, which we're going to need to unpetrify Straid. And here's like the first of a few screw-ups that basically delays my ability to upgrade my weapon. I think most people probably would have upgraded their longsword at least twice by now, but I missed the lizard. I also missed the 3 titanite shards in the previous room. I missed the titanite shards in Majula, and I missed the titanite shards in the mansion. So, a little unfortunate, but it's not like we have a blacksmith to do our upgrades anyway, so maybe that didn't matter. So for some reason I had a lot of trouble with Flexile Sentry this run. It was pretty funny because I pretty much did Najka and Lost Sinner without too many issues, but that boss definitely gave me my Dark Souls 2 money's worth. So we're going to go ahead and go to Lost Bastille. So we need the key to get over to the area where Straid is. So that key is by Lucatiel. And why are we doing this route instead of going like, let's say, Last Giant Pursuer? I believe this is less souls overall. Between the time you could get the Agape Ring and not. Oh my god. So, I didn't actually expect to get invaded by, I guess, someone in the super low bracket. And they were using like a maxed out Mastodon halberd. That was quite the surprise. So we go ahead and grab the key. And I'm like really sweating here because I'm carrying like 3,000 souls. If I like lost these, I would have to restart the whole run. And honestly, if I had anything but a +0 longsword, I think this wouldn't have been so bad. I think this fight was definitely going my way, but you're gonna see what happens. Basically, I try to engage this dog, I get spun on and die instantly, because of course they have a max upgrade weapon. But, you know, we're eventually getting to that point. We're just not using that particular one. I'm pretty sure they had the prisoner's chain on as well. They had a lot of HP for that level. Go ahead and break through. Use the key. We're going through. And I'm so glad that I took the life gems as the starting gift because, man, really saved me in the Flexile Sentry fight. There were a lot of mishaps on this run, but, you know, we're able to edit out all the garbage. Keep it educational. So yeah, we go ahead and use our fragrant branch. We unpetrify Straid. Gotta polish off the annoying mobs around him sometimes. Go ahead and use the bonfire. And then I realized we need 5,000 souls. The Dragon Rider soul is worth 6,000, that's kind of overkill. But I wound up farming out the 5,000 in another spot, and we're good. So this is the most annoying part of the run, and it's already done. So now we have the Agape Ring, and we're barely above 30,000 souls. If I had some spare change, would have bought the Dwarf Sword. I think when I level this character up, I probably will be using the Dwarf Sword because it's pretty fun. Why not? So you go back here, and basically what we're doing here is we're killing the pursuer, we're killing the last giant, we're doing part of the Pate quest, and then we're going to pick up the Dull Ember so we could actually use a blacksmith. Getting access to the blacksmith is pretty important because that's how you're going to raise your power. Nothing that you level is going to raise your damage. At least the way that we're built. So another boss where you just strafe to his right, we just wait for him to do his little shield charge attack, and then you can get a free hit in. Be a bit of respect when just doing 2 hits. Oh, this took a little longer than I thought, but that's what happens when you have an unupgraded weapon. It looks like it's almost done. Go ahead and punish that. Get the Ring of Blades for plus 10 attack. But I think I realized I needed to fix my titanite issue. So what we're going to do is we're going to get the key from the map guy to the mansion in Majula. So inside the mansion, there's a few titanite pieces, and there's also a Pharaoh's Lockstone, and there's also an Estus shard. So we're going to go ahead and grab all of those goodies. And because we have the Agape Ring, I don't really care about losing souls, so I'm just going to go ahead and suicide to go back to town faster. Go in, grab the Lockstone, go upstairs, go ahead and grab those titanites. And in the basement, you're going to find a skeleton. It usually drops a human effigy. You then can pick up the soul vessel and then an Estus shard. So we're summoning Pate for the last giant. That's because we need him for the Crit Gauntlets quest, so you need to keep him alive. I almost failed this, so definitely put more pressure on the last giant so that you don't run into this situation. I think I was just trying to see how much damage he could soak. Yeah, I was not playing well this stream, but that's okay. You get the idea. So we're going to go ahead and run over to the little bird's nest. And that'll take us back to the Lost Bastille. And at that point, we're able to pick up the Dull Ember. And I could have dropped down and gotten the Drangley set, but honestly, we don't need it. The objective for this build is to either wear the Old Knight set or the Peasant set. So Old Knight for poise, because that's the best poise to weight ratio you can get and it doesn't cost you anything. Or Peasant set for the free adaptability. Go ahead and open his chest, and we're going to solve our titanite problem. So I think this gave us enough large titanite to finish our upgrades. So if you don't have enough, you could drop down in Huntsman's Copse and farm the large green basilisk. That drops 3 large shards every time. You could join Covenant of the Champions if you want to farm that indefinitely. But I went ahead, did a little farming, got my weapon up to +6. It's feeling a lot better. Go ahead and lower the drawbridge. Man, it's almost going too fast. Oh yeah, the mobs here are pretty annoying, but if you've upgraded your weapon, it shouldn't be a big deal to just beat all of them down. NPC Phantom, I just mash R2 on the two-handed longsword, just poker. They don't seem to actually respond well if you just delay that attack, so you just kind of stagger it and game them out. And we'll go ahead and do the Skeletal Lords. Pretty easy fight. Just remember to just take down one at a time so you're not being swarmed completely by skeletons, and that the caster actually is the one that summons the bone wheels. You could do it in any order you want. I feel like sometimes I just prefer to do the bone wheels first, but this time I just took the biggest mob first. Maybe this is the hardest part of this fight. But yeah, we're almost to Harvest Valley, and that will give us a lot of upgrade mats. We get our first titanite chunk. And there's actually a slab there too, but so now we begin our unfortunate journey to gather the rest of the titanite chunks. So we find one here in Harvest Valley, right over here in this corner. Well, now we've got it. So after that, we're going to jump across to this chest in the Shaded Woods. Take care of the invisible enemy first. So now we have the second titanite chunk. Take care of this enemy. And we're going to kill this crystal lizard and get our third chunk and also a bolt stone. For being more optimal, we're going to use the bolt stone to enchant our weapon. But you could save it for a different PvP weapon if you'd like. We're going to kill this NPC, and we're going to get the second dragon ring because I don't actually want to wait until we get to Dragon Area to have one of the multiple boosters. So the second dragon ring, or all dragon rings, will boost your HP, stamina, and equip load. So, pretty good piece. We're going to jump through here and get another Sublime Bone Dust. Bare hand parry, why not? So the bare hand parry has more parry frames than a medium shield. Pretty funny. We're going to go through and we're going to kill Scorpionus Najka so we can get to the royal campsite, which is part of... oh my god. It's escaping me. The spider place, okay? You know, usually I have more screw-ups in this fight than what I'm seeing here, but I guess it makes up for the lost time on Flexile Sentry earlier. I feel like it's like Brightstone Cove, something Cove? Man. This is going to annoy the hell out of me. So these peasant enemies here could drop the peasant set. Each piece lowers your intelligence, but increases your adaptability. For a build like this, it's just a pure stat gain. I actually farmed all of these off stream after I shot this. It's a really good set for low soul memory invaders. because we're not trying to use any souls to upgrade our armor at all. Go ahead and run past these. And I forgot how annoying this fight was, actually. Because the Dark Mage can knock you backward, which is very annoying. And at this low amount of vigor, does a considerable amount of damage. But just take out the priests first, and you'll probably be fine. Taking some cover over there. And he's down. So now this is the easy part, and this will give us our slab. There's actually a slab I missed back in Harvest Valley between the two giants before you get into the passage where he goes to the boss. But whatever. It's fine. We could always use that second slab later. And after many attempts, I finally get the jumping attack and destroy that crystal lizard, giving us our final titanite chunk. Actually, there's a part that I missed where I find one more titanite chunk in Brightstone Cove, but there's the 6. So I went ahead and farmed a little bit. We got the +10 longsword, looking good. Ready to do some bell tower, ready to do some random invasions. Actually, that was only a +9. I guess we're going to see it in the clip coming up. Man, I really needed to pop an effigy. My god, those dogs have been the worst part of this run. So sick of these fucking dogs. It's done. We did it. Have the +10 longsword. Oh my god. So I guess while we're viciously chicken hawking these people, I'll tell you about what we missed. So I got a little too antsy on spending my souls. I should have saved about 3,000 so we could have gone to Earthen Peak and then to Iron Keep and then bought the Jester Bottoms. So without the Jester Bottoms, I literally cannot get to Black Gulch. I can't get to the gutter, and I can't get to Black Gulch because the drop will kill me. So I can't get Flynn's Ring, which would have added even more power to this build than we have already at 50,000. And yes, you will need to do the Rotten. I don't think... I mean, that fight's pretty annoying. Just don't get hit. Just don't get hit. Just that easy, huh? But... yeah, so you do the Rotten, you go down and kill the 2 giants, you get the key, which will then use to get the DLC key. You go back to the Rotten's arena, you go past there, and then you go to the not Iron King DLC, but the Shulva DLC. And that's where you get Flynn Ring. But I made some mistakes and we didn't get it within their 50,000 soul limit, but I will probably back up and save and go ahead and do that on another video and another stream. I think I've learned some lessons about streaming and recording about myself, but yeah, there'll be a part 2 soon, but this should cover most of the basics of getting a character PvP ready. Obviously, if you want a different weapon, you'll probably have to stack some more levels and upgrade a different weapon. There's a +8 wing spear in the Iron King DLC, so that's an option if you want to wait it out. But other than that, just pick a weapon, upgrade it to +10, and then enchant it with whatever element. You'll find the bolt stone in the location in the Shaded Woods, and then you'll find a Dark Knight stone if you drop down towards the gutter from another twinkling lizard. But anyway, I guess look forward to the next part soon, and I'll see you guys in the next video. If you like this, remember to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll take any suggestions you guys have. Alright, see ya.